And we up and running, y'all.
We are.
And what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Well,
Man,
let's do this, man. So what's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Cowboy Up Podcast, baby. We here, we live, you know. So the big fellas, he's usually the host, but the big fellas on some technical difficulties,
as
because
usual. As
as
usual.
usual. He lives close to that McDonald's Wi-Fi, so it's not really working. McDonald's and cut on, and they cut him off.
That damn McDonald's. I'm gonna find Ronald and kick his butt.
I'm telling you, man. Should have found out.
Hey, Ronald say, man, at least buy some fries or something. You want to use my
Son,
Wi-Fi?
said, stop stealing my Wi-Fi, damn it.
Hey, man. Hey, look, I'm still in Texas for the last week, and when I get back to Denver, I'm gonna have superb Wi-Fi.
Superb.
Superb. So, hey, all you Cowboy fan and Cowboy Up podcast fan, just bear with the big fella this week. Sorry about it. I had graphics and everything all lined up, and then literally me and Rue was talking 15 minutes before the show. Everything just shut down. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But that's how it is. That's how it is. So, but we ready to rock. Let's go.
We ready to rock, man. And as usual, we got your boy. Allow me to butt in. We got the big fella in the building. Shout out, big fella. The usual host. And then we got me. 21, baby. So we here. It's Tuesday, baby. Let's get it going.
That's it, man. It's Cowboy Up Tuesday, man.
Yes, sir. So,
hey, go ahead, man. I'm just a guest today.
so let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Big news around Dallas Cowboys is TD, man. We got the what is it? What are they called? They're not mandatory, right?
Yeah. No, these are voluntary.
Yeah,
these are voluntary OTAs, right? So
Yep.
We got voluntary OTAs. We got this pretty much like the first practices. So they starting up. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Right on time too. Shout out to Mikey, man. Shout out to Mikey in the building.
Time. He is not on time. His ass is late. He's always late. How you gonna call me an hour before the show? Say I'll see you in an hour, and his ass is still late.
I'm on CPT.
Mikey's on what we call Tigua time. Native time, he says he's down the street, but really he just left the house.
like the plug. I'm over here on Broadway and in Columbus. When you're really 6 miles down, you're waiting at Circle K for your snackety snack. Right. But I'm on CPT. Usually Mexicans come to the party or the wedding when they're cutting the cake.
Yep, exactly, right. So so Mikey really on time, right? But shout out Mikey, man. He's in the building, man. So here we go, man. Voluntary.
We had full strength, and it's been a minute, bro. Right? So good to see you. And it's
strange things happen after a solar eclipse, bro. So
you don't, dude. I don't know in your culture, right? When there's a solar eclipse, if you fat, you put keys on your belly because you got to protect your tacos. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Your tacos will go bad. But no, really, if you have like a pregnancy in the family or something like that, women put keys or metal on their stomach because all those invoking spirits. Mondo knows all about that. He's the in the freaking building, so he knows all about that strange stuff.
Yeah, usually what I grew up learning is because I saw my mom do this. She put a safety pin. They put safety pins out for what reason I don't know. It's a Mexican. I don't know if it's a Mexican thing or what, but you put a safety pin on the belly button.
It's a Mexica thing.
When there was a solar eclipse, and so we just had a solar eclipse, and we got Mikey in the building. Rare things do happen, baby.
this is some bullshit.
What's a bullshit? You've been having some guests that I've been like licking my chops to get at, and I'm looking at them like you got that. Oh, the other one, Tony Romo GOAT talking about the face of the franchise is Micah Parsons. Like, shut up. Shut up. How you have your defensive player as your face of your franchise? Your name is Tony Romo. Go. You already got an axe to grind, and it's America's team, not Cowboy Nation. That's all I got to say.
America's team, baby. So let's get to
Well,
these voluntary OTAs, man.
you
Yeah.
sure? You sure I can't defend myself first?
Go ahead, big
No,
fella.
go
Go ahead, big
ahead.
fella.
Yeah, I'm goddamn it. Oh, thank you. Because first of all, when we don't have four of us like the show is set up to do, we try to get a fourth to take the place of the absentee guest host that's always fucking absent. Okay, so when we have guests that's kind enough to come on the Cowboy podcast, when the damn regular show host don't show up, and then you got a complaint that they don't be here. I mean, about what they're talking about, that's your damn fault. So if you want them to stop talking about things you don't like, you bring your ass on your own show, and you won't have these issues, homie.
Hey, it's involuntary workouts, not voluntary. They're not mandatory. They're involuntary.
Go ahead, Armando. You the host. You the host, Armando.
We gonna call it.
He had to call.
Big fella gripe. Big fella gripe of the day, right?
Ooh,
So
that was segue.
So so we got a big gripe. We got a big gripe in Cowboys building, I guess you would call it, because Mikey doesn't like Cowboys Nation, but so CD holding out, man. Is he holding out? These aren't voluntary. These aren't mandatory. Sorry, these aren't mandatory. These are voluntary. Not only did CD not show up, but Micah didn't show up. How do you guys feel about this? It's kind of the first practices. To me, let me start it off. I feel like, you're a Cowboy. You want to set the tone, so you should be there, right? You should be there, and obviously we know the reason behind CD. We know the reason. CD is due for a contract. We've seen other teams pay their receivers. CD unfortunately hasn't got his, which we all. I feel like we're all kind of like he deserves it. If it's anybody, we need this man on the team. Rue, what's up, Rue? What do you think about this?
I'm all in on signing CD Lamb. I wore this for a reason today. I knew we were going to be talking about it. It's just one of those situations where it's like he's too valuable to this offense, especially with how it's formulated at its current status. There is no other weapon outside of CD Lamb and Jake Ferguson. And Jake is still a young kid in this league. I mean, obviously he made improvements last year. He put up like 750 yards, came up in some key moments. But outside of that, we have no run game. We just signed Royce Freeman, so it's just like, hey, they made a move, guys. And then outside of him, you got Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, and Cavante Turpin, and it's extremely young, extremely unproven. We've been clamoring for wide receivers since last year. We wanted a receiver last year during the season. It was wide receiver linebacker. We wanted help because we were hoping to get more out of Brandon Cooks. And from what we got out of Brandon Cooks, it was decent, but it was nothing to be writing home about. But what it boils down to is that position in this league is worth paying for. And you have to pay this man and keep him on this roster. And it does something for your cap also. This relieves cap space. This whole situation is something you need to get ahead of. We talked about this last week. They keep waiting for everybody else to do what they're going to do, and then they're going to end up paying too much or setting up some kind of dumbass contract where it's going to be outside of the realm of, because he wants to be the highest paid. If we're going to do highest paid, let's do 2 years ago highest paid and just match Tyreek Hill. That's what we ought to be doing before Jetta signs. Because we just saw Devonta Smith get $25 million. Anybody here think Devonta Smith is better than CD Lamb? Because I sure as hell don't.
Negative.
He got the same contract essentially that A.J. Brown got. Do what the Eagles did, get ahead of it, and sign your guy. Bring him home. He's 88 for a reason.
Yep. Big fella.
Well, just because it's voluntary, I'm not tripping over it. I'm not, just because the word voluntary. Okay. Dak Prescott showed up. They didn't extend him. And I know he's still pissed off about it, but he showed up, and that proves the leadership. Okay,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
CD right now, he's just going through the motions. When it comes to this contract thing, of course, it's going to frustrate the Cowboy fans like we've been frustrated all off season with the Cowboys and the front office, and all it does is just piss us off. I mean, but when push come to shove, when September come, if CD ain't on the field, then it's a major problem for me. Okay, because like Bruce say, they gave him 88 for a reason. But as long as it's still voluntary, I'm cool with it. Okay, I'm good, man. Sit out. Hey, I don't think Emmitt Smith or anybody else that was high caliber for the Cowboys ever went to OTAs or did anything that was in the off season that was very important. But it just feels good to see all the veterans there. Even though it's voluntary. Like when you were in high school and they say, hey, it's voluntary workouts and lift sessions, but if your ass didn't show up, you knew it wasn't voluntary.
It
Yeah.
was
You got
voluntary.
you got that damn phone call. Why weren't you at voluntary
Exactly, right?
lifting? It's not
No, no.
voluntary. You know
There
what it
was a
really
board
is.
with
Yeah,
magnets on it, right?
exactly. Yes,
and
yes,
your last name got pushed to third string, and the kid
yes.
that was there every damn day got
So
pushed, even though you're better. But
so so
that's the
so
what it
so,
was.
so as long as and Mikey's right, as long as CD magnet stays where it's supposed to be and not off the damn board, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Mikey.
Yeah, it's all the posturing a part of negotiations. Exactly what uh, was getting to. This is a par for the course, and it's voluntary. We need guys like Jalen Brooks to get the reps because when it comes to the limited practices that they have because of the collective bargaining agreement and training camp, CD's going to get all these reps. So who needs these reps? And like what Rue was alluding to, our lackluster wide receiver room, which I really beg to differ. His boy Jalen Tolbert needs the reps. Jalen Brooks needs this reps. Like we need to find that X. And I think it's going to be Brooks. Everybody thinks that we're going to get it on the draft, but Brooks was promising. He was a little slender, and I think he's going to be the kid that's going to step up. But as far as Cook's production goes, like Rue was saying, I'm not knocking on Cook's production. We had a number one overall offense once again, and it's only so much balls that could go around and so much people could eat. That's going to what Rue was saying. And with negotiations, how it goes now. Of course, he's not going to be at voluntary workouts. Of course, that's just one of the things, a little leverage that the agent uses, and it is what it is. And then when it goes to drastic measures, he's gonna, and if it goes bad, it's gonna be mandatory workouts. And then what's the big one? He's gonna unfollow the team. You know what I mean? That's the next thing, but we're not there. So it's good for our content. It's good for us to talk about. You don't hear anything about anybody else, but of course we're talking about it because the Cowboys, it's the Dallas Cowboys. And then going to Devontae Smith's contract, I think is a little more thirsty and desperate than our boy CD Lamb. Our CD Lamb is sitting pretty, and that's the big thing with these big three contracts that we have dealing that nobody is really realizing. Everybody's holding Jerry tight, like it's not Jerry. Of course, Jerry wants to get a discount. Of course, Jerry wants to get these things done, but these guys have leverage. Michael Parsons has leverage as possibly the best defensive player in the league. CD Lamb has the leverage of possibly being the best wide receiver in the league just because of last year. And Dak Prescott is coming off of a second team all pro season. All their agents are trying to get as much money as possible. And we're holding Jerry to the flames in the fire, especially with free agency and not making moves. Do you think our owner doesn't want to get CD Lamb in a Devontae Smith contract? Devontae Smith left at least $15 million on the table by giving himself a discount because I'm sorry, we're not scared of Devontae Smith. Are you guys scared of Devontae Smith? Hell to the no. We're more scared of A.J. Brown. And Devontae Smith actually got good money for what kind of player he is. In saying that, CeeDee Lamb wants his money, and he's not going to give anybody discount. We want them to get their money, and that's what our team is preparing for. So it is what it is, and that's the problem of drafting great and having great players on the team. And the pie is only so much bigger. It's like me and Chris, we'll get this quarter of the pie, this quarter of the pie. I feel sorry for Rue if there was a pizza because we're gonna get a bigger. I'm not saying more talent. I'm saying our stomach and our appetite.
Hey, somebody
Give me
tell
talent.
this man about me around food. Like, good luck,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I move fast around food, my guy.
He missed the Austin trip, so he don't know.
I heard somebody ate the breakfast burritos under some. That's what I heard.
Hey,
Somebody fell
partook in
asleep
that
and the
too.
breakfast burrito
Don't think
got
it was
eaten.
just him.
Hey, speaking of which, I forgot to send you. Giovanna made some of that ceviche, and I was eating it. And I was going, so refreshing, so
So
refreshing.
refreshing. Hey, it's saying that about the contracts. I'm gonna quote Mikey. We got rich people problems, baby.
Boom.
We got rich people problems. I feel like Mikey's right. Mikey hit on the head. CD does want that big contract, and we're not worried about no Devontae Smith. We're not. We're more. I think we're looking more into when JJ gets that contract, when Jay Jettis gets that contract. That's what we're looking for. That Devontae Smith, that's like the got the great value deal. So
No,
right now
and the thing is, we it's just the Eagles are so savvy and they conduct business savvy, and then they're always in the news. Like their team has gotten better. Simple and plain. Our
yeah
team has gotten worse. And
yeah
that's what gives us this anxiety, this sports anxiety. And then it goes back to our team self-esteem, especially since the last showing of our team. So we're still pissed and we're still with that feeling and watching our biggest rival being so savvy and making new moves. And every time they're in, they're making a better move. And we feel like we have our hands in our pockets and our front office ain't doing nothing. When in actuality, we have the guys on our roster. It's just we gotta pay them.
Yep.
Period.
And so with that being said, the Eagles are filling their gaps, and then that's I feel like that's what we're headed to maybe, and we'll segue into draft talk, baby. The draft is about what did we say, Rue? About a week, about a
Yeah,
week,
next
a week
Thursday.
out. So
Next
we're
Thursday.
about a week out from the draft. We should have been there. Me and the big fella, we had plans, but those plans you know, kind of failed out.
But we will be live
Yeah,
on
we
this
will be
show
live, baby.
on Thursday.
And I'm sorry, I'm getting with Little Mondo, so I got to get with my producer. There's possibly going to be a pre-draft show, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. I just got to get with my producer,
There
and
it
we
is.
got to figure this out.
So y'all stay tuned, right? That's it's all on the Cowboy Up Network, we'll call it, right? So the draft talk, baby, it's right around the corner. I think we got a lot of gaps to fill. First spot is 24, baby. So we'll be as Ruth said, we'll be kind of just watching and be like, damn. So what you guys think, man? Big fella, a week away, draft
Hey,
talk.
I'm excited about the draft, man, just because the unpredictability of the Cowboys when it comes to their draft strategy. You know, as y'all know, last year I had no idea that the Cowboys was going D tackle for the first round. It was unexpected. They had talked tight end forever, and then they also talked offensive line forever. Then they surprised us with a D tackle. I just want the Cowboys to be status quo, man. Best player available, and if the best player available is offensive lineman, let's take him. If the best player available is a defensive tackle, let's take him. And if it's a linebacker, let's take him. I'm even open to wide receiver at this point. You know, I'm not. I will not poo poo on it. The only position that I would poo poo on is the Cowboys decide they may want to draft a quarterback, and I think that'd be the dumbest thing they ever do. But hey, but the Cowboys, they may. So,
There's
um,
rumblings. There's
right,
rumblings.
there's always rumblings when it
Hey.
comes to the damn Cowboys. So basically, man, my eyes is always to improve the big boys up front. Hopefully, we may have some surprises for y'all a little bit after the draft with a big boy. And basically, I just want them, man, to hit on this draft, because last year we missed. We swung and we missed and we missed and we missed. And then the one players that we thought that was gonna show us some kind of things on the field, they got hurt. And then you have offensive linemen that you drafted and it's on the 53-man roster that's never active on Sunday, Awesome Richards. And I just don't understand why. It's just things this year, man, in the draft. The Cowboys need starters when it comes to this draft. We can't have bench players. We don't be looking for no damn special team players. None of that crap. We need people to get on the field and play this season, and that's what we need. So hopefully my wish and my hope is I hope they go offensive line first, and
Please.
then everything else I think will fall in line.
Rue, let me ask you this, Rue. Past drafts, we the Cowboys. You already know how the Cowboys draft. We've been great at drafting. I feel like we've been great at drafting. We've had players come out that they're just some have gone on to other teams, but we've drafted well. We've drafted well.
Mhm.
Last year was kind of the anomaly, I guess. You know, what do you expect? Do you expect we need a like the big fella says, we need a big draft? Do you think, well, with this draft coming up, I know you said it was wide receiver deep. Do you think we don't hit?
For me, I know they're going to do something outside of the realm of normality, just because that's what they've done the last 2 years. Nobody expected Tyler Smith. Nobody expected Mozzie Smith. It's been one of those things where it's like, I'm going to trust them to do what they do best. But I'm starting to turn my tide in terms of what I'm looking at in this first round, because like you guys, I was on O-line. I am no longer. And after what we saw that you sent us on Twitter today from Jerry Jones and what his comments were, I think they might, and I think Chris hit it on the head a few weeks ago with corner. I think that they're fully prepared to go on with what they have and see what they have in this O-line. I think that they trust themselves enough to take this young talent and Brock Hoffman. That was Chris. I think
it's been Chris.
I think they're prepared to move on with what they have with Brock Hoffman, with TJ Bass, with Awesome Richards. I think they're fully prepared to move on with this O-line as it is. Maybe get some depth later on in the draft. But like I said last week, if I had to address anything, O-line or D-line first, that D-line is my issue. That D-line has been my issue, and it needs to be addressed. I would rather, if Byron Murphy falls to me at 24, I'm taking Byron Murphy. No question about it. And the fact is, in the second round, if I can manage to somehow get this kid, Zach Frazier, who's probably my favorite coming out of the O-line class in this draft, playing out of West Virginia, state wrestling fucking champion, can move him from center to guard, I'm all about that. I would love to see that for this franchise. And I think that there's enough depth in O-line in this draft that you can get it later, and you address your more important need that's been gashing you on the front seven for the last 2 seasons. We haven't been good against the run. Yes, we've drafted Mozzie Smith last year, but maybe we don't go D tackle. Maybe we go D end. Find the replacement for D-Law. He's getting towards the end of his contract too, latter part of his career. As good as he's been, is he going to keep being good? This is when you need to start making the transition. Maybe you do go DN, get Micah Parsons some relief. There's a lot more needs defensively for this team than I feel like there is offensively when it comes to the trenches. Now, if they come around at 24 and end up drafting Adonai Mitchell to go get themselves a true X receiver, go get that. I would love that. Absolutely, I wish. There's no question that there's bias in that opinion, but the fact is he's falling to that spot, and he's a great receiver.
He's sneakier better than X.
the fact the man runs like a 4.40. He stands at
And
like
he's better than the
6'3".
4-1 guy.
He is. I would take him over Xavier Worthy. I absolutely would take him over Xavier Worthy. I don't care. I understand that he broke the record. I respect it. I commend it. I really love Xavier Worthy. A.D. Mitchell was the one that I watched every single Saturday that was really tugging at my heartstrings. Like, that dude is the truth. There's a reason that we got him from Georgia and he's been able to do what he's been able to do. That dude is a true X, deep threat, big receiver, and I would love to have him for this offense. But I still think with my head and the trenches come first. I don't think that I think there's enough receivers that you could get 3rd round, 5th round. You need a 2. You need somebody to complement CeeDee Lamb. You don't need like a superstar, which you could get at Adonai Mitchell at that spot. I firmly believe that. I know that he should be a 1st-round draft pick. Will he be? I don't know, but I know he deserves to be. And I know that if Kansas City's sitting there at 32 and they pass on him, they're dumb, because there's no way they should. But when it comes to the draft, I'm really thinking D-line. That's my priority for me. I think that's the most important thing that we need to hit and that we need to address, especially when it comes to stopping the run. We're really hoping that Overshown comes back, but linebacker needs to be affected as well later on in this draft. Like, there's more needs on defense for me than there is on offense. Offense needs frosting. Defense needs cake.
Ooh.
Damn.
Mikey, you got Mikey football horny on that one. You got Mikey football horny on that
No,
one.
it's just because the disrespect of guys like Fiocco, the disrespect of guys like Ghost, and one of our biggest, deepest rooms last year was our defensive line. I understand we lost Fowler. I understand that we've lost Armstrong. I get that we lost that. I get it, and Hankins.
Hankins,
But the thing is, we're banking on something we got. And somebody we got was Fiocco last year. Was he a 3rd rounder, right? He was a 3rd rounder?
I believe
and
so.
Then we got our 1st-round pick. Our 1st-round pick is gonna have a full season of an NFL weight room. He probably didn't bedazzle you. I'm not calling him Tristan Hill yet.
Are
I'm
you
not
referring to
putting
Mozzie
a
Smith?
toe tag on him.
Are you referring to Mozzie Smith?
Mozzie Smith. Don't put a toe tag on him. He could still be an earth mover. He could still be coached. He's still
he did
kid,
have to cut.
and he's a freak.
I'll give you the fact that he had to cut 30 pounds last year. He did. It probably messed with his game. It messed with his strength. I have no doubt that affected him, and I'm hoping that Zimmer takes care of it.
But he's a freak.
But if you're asking me, what do we do better at, O-line or D-line in the draft? I trust them to draft O-line later than I trust them to draft D-line later.
But at the same time, if I'm sorry, if I give props with the Brock Kaufman love and the Brock Kaufman, big ups to y'all, for getting love and getting, tagged and liked by Brock. That's fucking cool. And but I've been driving the Brock Kaufman wagon for a long time. Saying that, if Jackson Powers Johnson is there, I want Jackson Powers Johnson. Or if there's a scenario where we could get Jordan Morgan in the back end and we could trade out of that pick and dare I say it, do business with the 49ers. Because last time we did a deal with the devil, which was the Eagles, we ended up getting Micah Parsons. Maybe we do a deal with the devil in the 49ers, go back, get an extra pick, the pick that we don't have, the pick that we lost for Lance, get that pick back, and they'll come full circle, right? We pick up Jordan Morgan, early 2nd round and the 1st round. If Jackson Powers is not there, he's not there. But we need solidify that O-line. That's our biggest. That makes our running game better. It makes our running back better. I get what you're saying, Rue, in our defense, but our offensive line has lost, and we need to keep our quarterback that's going to cost extra upright. And how are we going to do that? By not paying our draft pick. So if Jackson Powers is there, if Jordan Morgan is there, I'll take him. If Mims is there, I'll take Mims. And that all that depends on what are we going to do with Tyler Smith. Thank God they made a pick 3 years ago for Tyler Smith and how savvy our scouting department is. But if we have that O line, I want that O line like big time. It is the battle of the bulge, and the trenches are dominated by the offensive line and us controlling the ball.
I hear what you're saying too, but there's enough depth at lineman in this draft to get it later. I still feel like when it comes down to it, with the importance of what needs to be addressed on defense, and the fact is, man, they're good at drafting O linemen. You know, they very well could be
Hoffman
right
and
about
and
TJ
the
Bass.
Oregon
They
kid.
could,
What's the Oregon kid?
Matt Willetsko. You
Not
got Matt
Willetsko. He hasn't even played the other one.
No, but Matt Willetsko's up there.
He's up there,
Even
but he
set him by
hasn't
name.
seen that much as the other kid, the blonde kid. Shit, the guard. He's an undrafted kid. So we getting guys in the back end, and I get our scouting department, but if we have somebody that's gonna like be a plug and play, like Chris was saying, because every kid that we get needs to just fall in line, because that's how bad our holes are. Because you've been calling them our holes, not our hoes, our hole. Our holes in our team that we need to fill in the gaps, and they need to be plug and play. But the thing, like I'm telling you, with the defensive line, Fiocco didn't see any time last year, and I think that was real deliberate. We got Chauncey Golston. Chauncey Golston hasn't seen his time. We do got players on our offense, our defensive line that we haven't seen that are gonna be available and ready.
Chauncey played. That's why I would assume that's why he's still here. He put on the weight and moved to D line, and that's where he's playing. I mean, I still think that Chauncey's not enough. Chauncey put on weight to even be at that position. You think Zimmer's going to be just doing the same thing? They might move him back. You don't know. It's hard.
Man, Chauncey's one of those names, man. Like when I think about a Chauncey, I think about something as Chauncey. I don't know if you ever figured in your hood, Chauncey in your hood, but in my hood, somebody named Chauncey is like Chauncey.
You we're talking about the Menace to Society reference.
Yeah. Hey, me and you, bro. You know.
But I mean, hey, so one thing I noticed nobody mentioned is running back. That's one of the biggest gaps we have right now. Do you guys feel like if the best player available is that position, do we take that position? I know we're all talking line, defensive line. But usually that's a later round draft. I mean, this Texas kid, that's what everybody's talking about right now. Rue, you know more about that. Do you think that's where we're headed to?
It's a possibility we get 2 running backs on this draft, bro. I don't know if you got that the thread I sent you by CBS Dallas and what his projection was, and I liked his projections. I like that he got Powers Johnson in the first round, and then Cooper in the second round, and then we ended up with 2 running backs, a scat back or whatever. Like I was cool with it.
It's a good running back. Rue?
For the running back spot, man, I don't think there is a first round running back in this draft. I don't know if there is a guy that's going to go first. I think Brooks is going to be somewhere in the second round. There has been rumors swirling about Brooks coming to the Cowboys, but I don't know. Honestly, my favorite one, I think as of right now, is probably that Audric Estime from Notre Dame. He jumps off the page, man. He faces a ton of 8-man boxes. Big play personality. His comparison is AP. How he's going in the 4th round, I have no idea. But I feel like he could be one of the biggest hits coming out of the draft. There will be more than one running back position. There usually is. But if I'm going to go that route, I want it later. And that's really why I agree with Mikey. We need that 4th round pick back. I want that 4th round pick back so bad I can taste it. It's ridiculous. And if I have to get him in the 3rd, I wouldn't be against it, but I'd rather trade up into the 4th and figure something out to go get him. Because I think he'd be one of the biggest hits that you could see, and especially for a 4th rounder, that'd be great.
I know the big fella put up the that chart last week where you're talking about that Notre Dame kid. Big fella, you see a running back there? You see a running back, or we're dropping back?
You're
You're mute.
muted.
You're
You're
muted.
muted, Bubba.
No, he's still muted.
There you go. Oh no.
They
No.
can't talk.
Dang.
The big,
Southside.
the big,
Sign it.
Southside.
the big fella on technical difficulties this week, but
What happened?
so
No,
so
the
the
Notre Dame
running
kid
back,
looks. He's big. He's durable. The question is how much carries, man, and that's the biggest thing with all the running backs that we pick up.
Sure.
How much wear and tear, and it sucks that the position has turned. And you got a big dog.
Nope.
What it's turned into, and how it's like bananas. It's like bananas. You got it. You. It's better if you get a kid with less carries, like a green banana, right? than than getting a yellow banana, because by the second year, third year, they're done.
yep.
And but that's a revolving position, and we've seen it. We've seen it with every successful team that's out there. That's a revolving position. That's a position where you're going to bring guys in. You're going to change out every other year, every 3 years. There's not many guys like CMC. There's only one. Like it's CMC and everybody else. It's probably the only free agent running back that has ever been signed and actually panned out. It's the only one that comes
in the
to
last
mind.
7 years.
At least.
In the last 10 years, you're right.
I can't think of one. I really can't. There's not. Once they leave their original teams, man, the big free agent signing after that, it doesn't usually work out.
Yeah.
And if it does, it's very average. You're definitely not getting all the mustard that you paid for.
We hope so with Saquon Barkley. We hope so.
Yep, for sure. So I think the consensus right now for draft is we're all going either D line or O line. That's
What?
consensus, baby. I got to bring out the big words every once in a while. The big fella got me hosting, so Webster came out right now. I got the Webster out here. Y'all don't catch the Webster reference, y'all a little bit young then.
He got it off that toilet roll. Don't even lie.
Man, his dad was Webster's daddy on TV was a Hall of Famer. Don't sleep on that.
Right? So, but hey, fellas, that draft, man, it's a week away, man. I'm excited for it. We gonna be live. If y'all, if y'all in the chat, we'll be live talking, draft. You're gonna see our live reactions. Mikey, and I still don't know the name of
his name is Mondo. Is Mondo 1121. So hopefully, I was talking to him, and I'm transitioning with my work schedule and my work, honestly. So we're gonna be available to start our own show. Like I said, excuse me, I have to get with my producer, but my producer's having problems, right?
Yeah.
And maybe if you guys are more than welcome to join us, but it's Thursday nights, the Thursday night before the Thursday night a week before the draft, or maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna make the announcement maybe through TikTok or something, but I really need to speak with Chris about it. I hate to just throw you guys. I've been trying to get to it, but it's been a wild one to say the least. So yeah.
But if it's one show y'all want to tune in, that's Mikey and his son bring good content. They gonna bring the fire.
Mondo knows ball for sure.
Dude, Papas Mondo is. I'm just gonna ask questions and let him go. He's been chopping at the bit. He's been asking me every week. So when's the show? When's the show? And yeah, he's ready, man. He's ready.
But on that note, you guys always you guys hit those like buttons on here. Show love to the Cowboy Up podcast. Shout out to WWE guy. Shout out to Buzz. Shout out to Rob on here. Appreciate you guys joining. If you guys come from Facebook, from TikTok, wherever you guys are coming from, I appreciate y'all stopping by, man.
Yeah, all you guys that I share the content with, everybody all the groups that I share, you already guys know who you guys are. You guys are listening live. You guys are more than welcome to hit us up, and then maybe if you're lucky enough, you get the link and you jump on. But we would appreciate any questions or comments, any concerns that you have, any questions you have in particular for anybody on the panel, man. we're always here. And then stuff that you guys have been talking about. Like, let's talk. Um, I thought that was the big fella getting on it. You win?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
go. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
man, this is the worst show the big fella have ever done. And I just want to apologize because it won't be like this next week. But can I get back to that running back question that
Yes,
Alonzo-
sir.
Yes.
Please save us.
Hit it.
First of all, I'm tired of the disrespect that my man is getting, and I'm talking about Blake Corum, from Michigan. Okay. And the reason why I'm tired of the disrespect, people are judging his size and not his performance on the freaking field. Okay. This man pounded the rock at 5'9", 225 pounds against beasts in the Big Ten. Some of the biggest defensive linemen and the strongest defensive linemen in the country. And then when the games are on the line, who they give a damn ball to, they give it to Blake Corum.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
he's
sir.
a finisher. He punished people, man. He punished. And he gets in the end zone. That's the problem that the Cowboys running backs have had the whole last season. They don't get in the end zone. Everybody keep picking these damn running backs who nobody's seen on Saturdays, but they can show out and they have great combine workouts and great speed and this is great measurables. But one thing they don't do, they don't win and they don't get in the freaking end zone. So all I'm saying is give my man some damn respect and look for him, because whoever get him is going to be so happy and so thrilled because he going to get in the end zone at a consistent basis. Because I'm tired of these measurables. Man, you watch film and you see the games, and what he does is nothing but produce.
Yeah, he's special.
He produces. And when everybody talk about the kid from Wisconsin, the kid from Notre Dame, the kid from Florida State, all the people never helped their team. But the Cowboys, matter of fact, Blake Corum is getting J.J. McCarthy a first-round draft pick just because he's a winning quarterback because he had Blake Corum in the backfield.
but boss, I don't think we're disrespecting Blake at all. I think he's too good. He's too rich for our money right now. If you understand what I mean, he's going to go higher than I think we're willing to pay because we got bigger needs and there's bigger holes.
For you, Mikey. I got a question for you. So, would you rather pay top dollar for that steak, or you want to pay that dollar for that Waffle House steak? So, do you want the Ruth Chris steak or do you want the Waffle House steak? Which one do you want?
I want that. I want that thick Costco steak that I'm gonna make myself. But that steak still costs money. I get what you're saying. I understand completely what you're saying, a big fella. I get it. But we need a linebacker at the spot that Blake Corum is gonna go. That's what I'm saying.
You got one coming off an ACL injury. Give me your next one.
Well, we'll see how that went because he did our last number 14, and I'm not talking about Bell. I'm talking about the kid that went to Washington. He didn't do too good off of an ACL, and we saw what Michael Gallup looked like. So we can't just bank everything on that. And boss, we've been on this linebacker kick for a long time. I like Corum. I am in love with the kid. I like his size. I like that he could get lost in the trenches. And we had a prototypical guy like that. He wore number 22. He's in the Hall of Fame. I'm for the kid. But at the spot where he's gonna go, for me, I want a linebacker.
Okay. Well, I'm like this. Okay. We complained about two things last year. We complained about linebacker. We complained about running the damn ball. When Dak Prescott is at his best, the Cowboys got what? A running game.
Running game.
They don't have a running game.
No.
So
I beg to differ.
And when
this was Dak Prescott's best. This was Dak Prescott's best this last year, and he didn't have a running game.
Let me finish. But if they had a running game when we really needed it, okay, Dak Prescott would have been even better. Because when Dak Prescott was that rookie season where it made the Cowboys go 13-3 is because of Ezekiel Elliott. Okay? So, and we had one of the best offensive linemen. So that's why I'm saying offensive line first. If Blake is there in the second, go get him. Okay. So we got other things, man, that we can, we already said the draft is deep at other positions, especially at wide receiver and defensive tackle. We got that time. Okay. But what I'm saying is to improve your team and get rid of everything we bitch about is running the damn ball and pounding it and taking time off the clock. Man, to me, he is the best running back. Quit talking about these damn measurables and watch the damn film. It's easy. Hey, Michigan was on TV every damn Saturday. You can go to YouTube and right now. Hey, ask Penn State when them 30 consecutive runs in the fucking second half to kick their ass in their own stadium. Ask them.
Ask LeVar Arrington. Ask LeVar Arrington, that motherfucker.
Hey, I'm just trying to get. Hey, look. The Cowboys probably not going to draft Blake Corum, but what I'm saying is I just want everybody to quit disrespecting the kid. And they want to talk about his injury his junior year, but then he came back his senior year and almost bust a rushing record, touchdown rushing record at Michigan by 1. So come on, man. That injury is in the past. The kid, he's built just like Emmitt Smith. He's built just like him, same height, same weight, everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who did he pass? I want you to say Tim Biakabatuka.
It's always Timmy Biakabatuka.
I gotta say though, man, I don't hate that. I mean, I don't. If they went and took care of the D line on the first round, hit the second round with the O line, and backed it up with a running back to go with it, I'm not against that. And I'm not against the O lineman in the first round either. If it's me, I prefer the defensive lineman, whether it's end or tackle. That's what I prefer. I think there's enough to get a good, talented, solid lineman in the second round and possibly in the later rounds as well. Just double down on the lineman as you go through this draft. The biggest thing for me right now is the fact that fourth round pick is just glaring. That's really what hurts more than anything, not having that fourth round pick. And I know that's rich people problems, as Mikey says, and it really is, because I'm talking about a fourth round pick, but the way this team drafts in that round and the way this team drafts overall, every pick is so crucial. So, and especially when you don't make any moves in free agency. Blake Corum in the third, I wouldn't hate that move at all. I think that would be a good move. I don't really hate his size either. That's pretty typical for running backs in this league too. Like it's not out of the realm of reality for them to be 5'9", 5'10". Like that's actually pretty normal. So I'm in on that.
You know what? He's a fourth round projection.
There's so many in the fourth.
Audric's a fourth round back.
He's in the fourth.
I wouldn't mind
that fourth round pick is so glaring.
Yeah, it is.
Because we could literally address everything that we needed in the first three, and then that fourth round, you go get a running back. But it's like, nah, we got Trey Lance.
No, the thing is, now, you know how earlier the big fella was like, best player available. But this is exactly what he's saying. So we got Blake Corum, and he falls in our lap. Take Blake Corum.
Put some respect on the name.
That's all I want.
Hey, so shout out to the big fella, man. Big fella, he said, that's the great philosopher. Baby once said, put some respect on my name.
Respect.
Right.
I came over here to tell y'all put some respect on my name.
Right. So the draft it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be, it's gonna be live on the Cowboy podcast. We might be drinking, so it's definitely gonna be live for sure.
I'm on medication.
I'm on medication.
Like I said, I'm on medication.
And the thing is, we're all going to be streaming it, so we got to figure out who's.
Yeah, we got to figure out who's first.
We got to come on early. So whoever stream is the fastest is going to host.
Hey, don't be talking about coming on early, Mikey. Yes. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. You know your ass gonna be showing up, and we're gonna be like, it's gonna be the 23rd pick. You're gonna see Mikey come on the line like, what's good?
I had to work and hey, my school bus can have a flat tire and all that. No, man, get here on time.
My short bus ran extra short today.
Yeah. So guys, if you guys all follow us. We all have different social medias. A lot of us have TikTok. You know, the big fella on Facebook, X. You know, I think he's on Instagram. I got TikTok. I got X, Mikey. You know, so we have a big family. We have a big family everywhere. Cowboys family is big. You know, we always meet new people. We've had the pleasure of meeting ourselves actually through social media. You know, I've kicked it with Rule, we've kicked it with Mikey, big fella. Me and the big fella, I stayed the night at the big fella's house. You know, so we've all
They had the jammies with the feet in them, you know what I
yeah,
mean? You know,
I had
just
the
My
onesies,
only
baby.
my only complaint my,
sliding.
my only complaint he didn't leave enough money on the nightstand when he left.
He did. Well, nowadays, you know, he could have just zelled you the rest, man.
Right? But we got a big extended Cowboys family, and it's in that is in with that said, we lost a family member this past week. You know, Tristan Lee. If you guys didn't follow him, he was on TikTok.
Yeah,
He was disabled, but he was a big Cowboy fan, and even being disabled, you would have never known. You would have never known that he was
dude.
because he was always
My guy
positive. He
right
was
there.
always talking Cowboys, and he was part of the extended Cowboy family. And with that, we'll give you Mikey's minute and rest in peace, Tristan. Mikey, take it away.
Tristan Lee, man. Tristan Lee. He was born 2002. He never saw a Cowboy championship. And that breaks my heart. It breaks my heart with this organization because this kid, well, you guys know me, right? You guys get mad at me because, yeah, sometimes I don't find myself in my show, but then you could find me on TikTok. I have a sports thread family aside from this family, and it's a very different sports teams. And there's a lot of different guys. I got Nick at Night, which is the Giants fan. I got She's So Dope, which is an Eagles fan. King Teddy, which is the Niner fan. 40 is a Niner fan, and these are extended TikTok personalities that sometimes I get on their nerves and they'll mute me or cut me off or they hand it to me and I'll argue with them. And yes, sometimes I'm not exactly myself, but in this platform, I got to really meet Tristan Lee, and Tristan Lee, diehard Cowboy fan. I even got in arguments with this kid, and he questioned my Cowboys fandom and my mo all the time is being that Cowboy fan that hates Cowboy fans. But with this guy, his disability, and he just kept going forward, man, and he brought light to sometimes a very toxic situation when we're arguing, especially how much we're passionate about sports. And we look beyond his disability. We look beyond that. You see his picture right there, and he has oxygen, and he's obviously in his bed. And we didn't look at that because he came confident, he came knowledgeable, and he came respected, and he was well respected within our TikTok sports community and with Cowboy fans. And I really got to know the kid. He argues with me a lot, man. He put me in my place a couple of times, and I loved it. And he's gonna be sorely missed, and it breaks my heart for him and his family. My mom though was born in 2002, so they're the same age, and a life gone so early. And you got to admire him seeing past his disability and seeing past that. And you know what? I give a lot of credit to my thread on TikTok and my guys on TikTok to seeing past that and letting him on and letting him have his voice, and then arguing with him like he had a voice, not feeling sorry for him, but him being knowledgeable, him knowing his Cowboys and him knowing his sports talk, which was very on my side admirable and something I admire. And of hearing about his passing and being touched by him personally, it's tragic and it's terrible. So we lost him on the 10th, and the sports TikTok community has been touched by it. So, Tristan, thank you for the arguments. Thank you for gracing us with what you are, an example. We all strive to have a legacy, and I hope you're smiling down to know that we didn't not recognize you or nothing. We remember you, and you give us strength to go forward. And prayers to your family, and God bless you in your home going. You know, you already know, big dog. You already know, puro pinche Cowboys.
Pinche Cowboys, man. Rest easy, Tristan, man.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you, man, because
Yes, sir, man. So
and
yeah, so
that goes for all of us, man. We are a brotherhood, and
of
we all have
non-Cowboy fans
we
that
get
put out
intentions
tribute
and
to them.
stuff, but to hear stuff like that, it
It's tough.
fucks you.
Yeah,
It really does. So his family, I just hope God's with them, and because they lost, like Sneaky said, we lost the real one. Even Sneaky, it is like we lost the real one, and Tristan was it. So Tristan Lee, rest in peace.
sir. So guys, final thoughts, man. We had a quick show, a technical difficulty show. We remember Tristan, man. Shout out Tristan, man. But Rue, we'll start with you, Rue. Final thoughts. Let's talk. Give us everything of what we talked about. Give us a little bit of CD. Give us a little bit of the draft. What's to come.
Pick up the pen, put it on the paper, and sign my freaking receiver. Bring 88 home. When it comes to the draft, give me the cake. Save the frosting for later. Shout out to Tristan. I didn't know Tristan, but I mean, 22 years old. God bless him, man. God bless his family, and rest in peace, my dude. That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. On a lighter note, on the cool, shout out to my man Scotty Scheffler, winning the Masters. Yes, sir. My Longhorns are everywhere, bro. You know how long it's been since I've been able to enjoy my Longhorns literally being everywhere? My dudes are everywhere right now. Everywhere. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. And don't you say nothing. Best player on your basketball team is a Longhorn, just so you know. Anyway. What it all boils down to,
succeed, baby.
hey. It is what it is. I just hope that they do what needs to be done in this draft. We definitely need it to hit. It's going to be crucial to what happens to us this season, because right now I'm kind of in limbo. We're having a lot of faith in a lot of young players, and we're going to have to keep on having that faith because ain't got none but young players coming in. So I hope they fill the shoes that they need to fill.
Big fella. Final thoughts, big fella.
Oh man, my final thoughts is, first of all, I want to apologize to everybody for the technical difficulties. When we rely on technology, sometimes it fails you or you fail it. But my final thoughts on the show today is always respect. Just want you to just keep this in your mind. keep, keep it in your mind, okay? Keep these winged helmets in your mind, and I want to just let it marinate in your spirit. So next Thursday and next Friday, just keep this image in your head, okay? Keep it in your head, and the big fella needs to be happy this off season some kind of way, because the Cowboys have made me very, very unpleasant to be around. So hopefully they'll do something special for us on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But otherwise, man, also I want to echo Ruth's sentiments to Tristan. I didn't follow Tristan, but his videos popped up on my timeline, and I always watched them and everything. Man, it's sad that You know, people get dealt some bad cards, but the one trump card he had was love, and I did appreciate that. And then the other trump card he had was he was a Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to Tristan, Dallas Cowboys for life, and
Sir.
I always end everything. Peace.
um
Mikey.
we got a lot of dudes to sign, and it's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen. And There's only so much that we have control over, and there's only so much our front office has control over it. Um, we want it earlier than later because later we're going to pay for it. There's a lot of questions with our team. The ambiguity is killing all of us, and that's a big Jerry Jones word that he used. It. I'm ready for the ambiguity, but we're not ready for the ambiguity because the ambiguity with us is written in the cards. Because with better players, we got our asses handed to us in the first round of the playoffs, so we are pissed. Some of us are medicated. I digress.
Amber
Um,
who?
so, but the years are going already, and that's the crazy thing. I always say, the beauty of the year going by. It's already draft, and after the draft, we're gonna have the schedule release, and talking about that, we're all going to San Francisco. If y'all didn't know, so all of us, we
Como
going to
que?
San Francisco. So and that's the beauty of football season, and that's why the football season never stops. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep chucking, and we're gonna keep talking shit until the beauty of this, right? We're just talking shit, and we're all in our emotions or in our stomachs with the shit feelings. Is we haven't seen the Eagles play a game yet. We haven't seen the Cowboys play a game yet. So we don't even know what these teams really look like, and that's the beauty of this. All we are is speculating and saying, and that's the beauty of this game. So we got one more week to the draft. Man, we get a show, a draft preview show with Mondo and Mikey. Like I said, got to talk to the producer. I'll drop the announcement on TikTok and then announce it on another social media platform. But all you guys, it's been a minute, and it's good to have the Cowboy up all together for real. In the sentiments with Tristan once again, man. We're all are blessed with family. We're all blessed with this life that is fragile, and some cards are dealt different. And the big thing that you could get from with Homeboy is attitude. Sometimes we have shit attitudes, and we have all everything, and I myself included. So I have mud on my face with that. So but with everybody, man, I appreciate all you guys, man, for real. You guys we're a brotherhood, and we are a suffered brotherhood in some aspects. But like always, puro pinche Cowboys. And for Tristan, how about them Cowboys? Woo!
Sir. So my final thoughts, guys. Great show. Even though we had a couple technical difficulties, but great show, guys. You know, we gotta get our number one sign, guys. We gotta get our number one sign. I don't like having guys hold out. It keeps this cowboy drama, which we've always had and we will always have. It keeps it going, and it fuels those haters. And so we got to get them signed. The draft is coming up. I want to see those gaps filled up. Whoever we take, we do need a plug-in player, as the big fella stated. So, I'm looking forward to that. You guys stay tuned. If you guys are on the chat, stay tuned for that draft show. We will be live. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate everybody, showing love to the Cowboy Up podcast. We're trying to grow. We got some things lined up. Hopefully we get some special guests in here. So I appreciate you guys showing love always, and on Tristan, let me touch a little bit. I did follow Tristan. We followed each other actually, so I got to have a couple conversations with him on lives, right? And one big thing is to me, he showed a lot of heart, man. He showed a lot of heart. Dude got bullied, but he actually took that bullying into, he made fun of it, and that was cool of him. He took it in stride. He didn't let his disability get him down. And this dude had heart, man. He had heart. I've tagged the Cowboys in a couple posts that have been put out, hoping that maybe they'll show some love to Tristan. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys organization and somehow you come across this little tiny podcast, show some love, baby. So shout out Tristan. I take my hat off. You know, appreciate that. So with that being said, as Tristan once said, man, how about them Cowboys? Woo!
Woo!
Thank you guys for joining. If you guys, check us out, tap the like button. Go show some love after the stream. Appreciate you
And
guys.
tell your friends about us.
Tell everybody's about us. Share the live, share everything. I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Cowboy Up Podcast. I appreciate you guys. Peace.